Definitely, we're still expecting more people to join us, okay? But with a few people in the house, let me just see if you could tell me where you're joining from, okay? The few of us currently on the call, could you let me know where you are joining us from? All right, where you're joining from. So if you're currently in Canada, Ontario, you're currently, where are you based at the moment? Or where you joining the session this early morning or this late evening, depending on your time zone. All right, show is in Canada. Okay, that's good. Show is good to have you here. All right, let me see. Any other person? Two, three, four more persons, and we'll start the session. We'll continue. All right. Toronto, Phoebe from Togo. Okay, that's good. Good to have you here, Phoebe. And Mia, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Okay, it's good to have you here. 100%. All right, so we're going to be starting the session. So this session is going to be a maximum of 2 hour session. It's going to be a maximum of 2 hours, okay? What we're going to be talking about today is how to secure AI paying tech role in the US or in Canada, okay? So we have majority of the guys in Canada or, the guys back in Africa, Togo, Abuja, that's in Nigeria. So we're going to be talking about how to secure this. Now, the key thing most people don't understand is people don't understand that upskilling yourself, you learning a new skill can actually lead to your financial freedom. And I like to use myself most times as a point of contact, as a point of discussion. Okay. So I paying tech role. When people say this, what does it mean? When they say I paying tech role, what does this mean? Does this mean six figures? You're earning 100K plus per annum? Or does this even mean you making more than 100K? All right. Is it possible for me to make 200K per annum as a tech professional? Is it possible? Everything we're going to find out today. Okay. All right. And it's very interesting that people don't know that these opportunities actually exist. Okay. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So without wasting too much time, I'm going to jump straight into the session. Okay. Like I said, it's maximum of a 2 hour session. So now, if this is the first time you're joining us, okay, if this is the first time you're joining us, 10 Analytics, I'm not sure. Can you guys see the floor train on? Okay, it's not there. All right. If this is the first time joining us, okay, we like to always, you know, resound the mission for Analytics. And the mission for Analytics is very, very simple and straightforward. The mission for us is to get more Africans into the tech space. That's literally the long and short of it all. Every other thing that we're doing is what we call extra. Okay. Every single thing we are doing next is what I like to call extras. Okay. So the goal for us is to get more Africans. Either you're an African in Africa or you're an African in the diaspora. You're an African in Canada, you're an African in the US, you're an African in the UK, anywhere you are in the world. The goal for us is to get you into the tech space. And now it's something that has always been, our mantle, that's been our mission to get you those jobs. Now, if you look around you, all right, even especially for the guys outside the country, if you look around you, look around the Africans that you'll find out that majority of Africans outside the country are not doing, the kind of career paths they are doing are not very high paying. Okay. All right. So how can we get more Nigerians, more Africans, more Ghanaians, Cameroonians across the world into the tech space and get them that's high paying job? All right. How do we get them those opportunities? That's exactly what we're going to be exploring today. All right. So we offer obviously different training programs cutting across data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, Scrum, cybersecurity, so on and so forth. And we have a unique style of training that has, really helped us, secure, you know, quite a number of people, roles within the tech space. All right. And that's exactly what we're going to be discussing today. Okay. All right. So that's exactly what we're doing in analytics. And the goal for us is very simple, like I am clear as possible, which is get more Africans into the tech space. All right. Now, who are the people that you're going to be working with? My name is Ifemena April, and I am the co-founder of Analytics. I have over a decade experience, working in the tech space. So my first degree was actually in economics, nothing related to tech. So I had my first degree in economics, then I transitioned from economics to, you know, um, I did economics from my first degree. Then got my first job in management consulting. So I did management consulting for about 4 years, all right, before I transitioned into the tech space. Okay. But now that's key thing that most people are that thing that most people are scared of. Okay, saying that, oh, I don't have a technical background. I did not do computer science in school. I'm not very good with computer. All right. I'm not very good with computer, making all these, assumptions that you need to have. Okay, I don't have a certification. I don't have this. I don't have that. And the funny thing is, neither do I. I don't have a certification. I don't have a technical background, nothing. But I was able to learn these skills, okay, while I was working as a management consultant. That's, a few years, well back, at the start of my career. Okay, so I was learning the skills during my career. Okay, and that's how I was able to learn and transition into the role of a data analyst. Okay, so from data analytics, I've transitioned. I've worked as a data analyst, a data scientist. I've worked as a business intelligence analyst. I've worked as a data engineer. I've worked as a computer vision engineer. I've worked across different roles within the data ecosystem. All right. I've even worked as a business systems analyst, which is more related to the role of a business analyst. So my experience has really spanned different aspects of the tech space. And coming from someone that had no technical background, okay, zero technical background, and has been able to transition and work across different roles. Okay. I love training people. I love training. I've been training from the first, even before I even transitioned into the tech space, I've been training. All right. I used to train in financial modeling, financial analysis. I used to do all those, anything that has to do with impacting people. That has been something I really love doing. Okay. So because my career, that's one thing that has really helped me. And that's the reason why we also started analytics myself and Adeza. Adeza also on the flip side doesn't have any technical background. Studied industrial chemistry for his first degree. We started working together as management consultants, back there in Nigeria. And we did that for like almost 4 years before we transitioned into the tech space. Okay. So if you are at this point in time saying that you don't have a degree, oh, I don't have a degree, I don't have the right certification, I don't have this, I don't have that. The key thing here is you're in the right place. Myself and Deza don't have any technical background before starting. Okay, we still don't have any certification. All right, but are we doing well in the tech space? Absolutely, yes, we are. And you could check out, obviously, you see our LinkedIn profiles in there. You can check us out on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, and you see the wonderful things that we are building, the things that we're working together on, and so on. All right. So that's exactly who we are at Tenalytics, the co-founders and founders of Tenalytics. All right. So now, in what are we going to be doing today? Like I said, the session is just going to be for about 2 hours. I'm only going to be doing here for about 2 hours. Okay. Now, what are we going to be looking at today? Number one, we're going to be exploring in-demand tech roles in 2024. In-demand tech roles. Okay. Number two, we're going to be looking at how you can land an high-paying role in US or in Canada. So if you're in the US, if you're planning to relocate to the US or you're planning to relocate to Canada, this session is literally tailored for you. Number three, we would also talk about our upcoming training program. Okay. So the number one, like I talked about, in-demand tech role for 2024 and how you can position yourself for success. All right. So that's the first thing we're going to be looking at. All right. So one thing that most people don't understand or most people don't appreciate is the fact that you need to position yourself. You honestly need to position yourself. It's not just, oh, the next big thing, the next big thing. You're positioning yourself for the next big thing. That next big thing might not really come, okay? But now, how do you know how to position yourself for the future to secure this kind of IP roles, okay? And that's what we're going to be exploring today. Now, we're going to be looking at in-demand tech roles. What classifies a role to be in demand? And that's exactly what we're going to be looking at. And we have a very wonderful report that has been designed by the World Economic Forum. Now, no, okay, just looking back, when I started my career, the reason why I chose a career in data was based on the World Economic Forum. Two articles I read, one from the World Economic Forum, and the second one was from Forbes. Okay. So Forbes at that point in time said that data science was the sexiest job of the future. All right, was claiming that everybody was talking about data science and how data science was going to be the sexiest job in the future. All right. World Economic Forum also classified data roles to be in demand, high in demand, any business that wants to make progression, that wants to make sales, that wants to, to make impact, any business that is looking to make high revenue, all right, and make any significant impact in the future, they need to look at hiring data analysts. And these articles were things I read, okay? And that was when myself and Adeza, we said, okay, do you know what? Let's start learning data. Let's start small. Let's start taking, courses and all that in data. And that's how we positioned ourselves, started learning the skills, had the record size skills in order for us to transition. Now, that's exactly how this economic forum, and that's the reason why we still use it till date to determine the roles that are going to be in demand and the roles that are definitely phasing out. Okay. And we're going to be exploring those opportunities. We're going to be looking at that today. Number two is landing the hyper tech role. So, learning a skill. Yeah, at this point in time as adults, okay, you're not learning a skill to put at your, to put it on your resume. All right, to just put it on your resume as an add-on. Okay. I wouldn't be learning any skill I'm going to be learning at this point in time. I'm going to be learning it to see how I can make more money from it. All right. How I can use that to increase my revenue. All right. That is my income on a year-to-year basis. So that's exactly the other opportunity we're going to be looking for. Then we'll also talk about our upcoming training programs and how you can actually partake. All right. Based on the discounts that we're giving out. And the good thing for us is we have success stories. We have a lot of evidence. People getting jobs in the UK, in Canada, in the US, and across the world. Literally, people getting jobs anywhere in the world. People, our participants, gone through our training program, and they have gone after to get jobs. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. All right. Now, let's jump straight into the session. Okay. Now, why choose a career in tech? That's the first question you need to ask yourself. Why choose a career in tech? Why do you want to work in the tech space? Why are you looking to work in the tech space? And it's very simple. All right. The first thing is high demand for tech skills. High demand. There is always going to be a demand for tech skills. Okay. So rather, even if you're looking at business analysis, you're looking at data engineering, data science, you're looking at cybersecurity, there is a high demand for these roles. So that's exactly what would give you the opportunity to be able to, move from one role to the other, all right, even secure a job, getting you started, because there is such a high demand. Okay. So as long as you can learn the skill, there will be a position for you. There will be a position waiting for you. That's exactly what answers the first question, the high demand for tech skills. Secondly, great work-life balance and flexibility. Great work-life balance and flexibility. All right. Well, this time, as adults, everyone is looking for some kind of remote role. Now, just to add to this, okay, I personally have not been to the office since 2020. This is almost 4 years now. Okay, February, yes, 4 years. It's going to be 4 years next month, February. All right. So I've not been to any office. Most of the while, I go to the office just for for team bonding activities and all that. I've not been I've not like really gone to the office to go and work. Do you understand? So if these are the kind of opportunities that you're looking for, you want to work remotely, you want to, have time for yourself, have time for family and all that, it's one of the greatest career paths that you could latch into. All right. So great work-life balance and flexibility, innovative and ever evolving field. Okay. So when I was transitioning, okay, into the tech space, and I'm using myself as a point of contact because majority of us are, looking at how we can transition into the tech space. And I was in your shoes a couple of years ago. And these are the kind of opportunities that we're looking for, something that's, I don't need to, if I want to change my job today, okay, I can easily just go on the job market and look for another job. Okay, because there is a high demand for that skill I have. There's a high demand for it. So the opportunity for me to move from one role to the other, there's a huge potential for me to be able to move from one role to the other because of the demand. Secondly, great work-life balance, okay, which is what I discussed earlier. Innovative and ever evolving. So one thing I always wanted to work when I was looking at transitioning, I wanted a place whereby, you know, today's work is going to be different from tomorrow's work. Okay. Whatever I do today, I don't want it to be monotonous. All right. So a challenge I face today, I don't want to face the same challenge tomorrow and the next day after, the same thing, the same thing. Once you do that thing repeatedly, it becomes boring. And if you've ever worked in consulting, okay, sometimes it can actually get monotonous when you are still trying to climb the ladder. All right, research, 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 and it gets very boring and all that. Okay, so I wanted to be more active. I wanted to be at the core of that innovation, of solving problems and all that. So if you're that kind of person that you want something different, you want something unique, a unique experience every other day, then the tech space is for you. All right. Next is fantastic salaries and benefits. We'll talk about salaries today. We're going to talk about salaries today because we're talking about how you can secure a high paying tech role. All right. So if we're going to be talking about, we need to talk about salaries, and you'll see the wonderful salaries and the opportunities that you have in there. Okay. So definitely if you're looking to get that fantastic salary, six figures, you want to work, we'll talk about that. Don't let me run faster than my shadow. Okay. Global opportunities and impact. Okay. Global opportunity and impact. I usually tell most people the skill of a tech professional is not limited to their local environment. Okay. So if you learn data analytics and you're currently in Nigeria, or you're currently in Togo, or you're currently in some remote access somewhere in Africa, you see that skill that you have, okay? It's not just for the opportunities within your local environment. Okay. It's also there's a demand for those skills outside the country. So the Power BI that you learn, the Python that you learn, the PySpark, the GitHub that you know how to use very well, okay? That skill is what other countries, other opportunities in other countries are looking for you. All right. So it's the same tool. Python in Nigeria is the same Python in Canada. Python in Togo is the same Python in the US. So if you know how to use Python very well, all right, and that's why they say, tech skill, they call it the global tech talent. Okay. And that's why every country that is, looking to bring in, tech talent, they call them global tech talent because whatever skill that you have, regardless of your nationality, regardless of your skin color, regardless of anywhere you are, it's literally that skill that you're looking for. All right. If you're a developer, you are an engineer, you are an analyst. Okay. It's the same skill that they're looking to hire. Okay. So global opportunity and impact. And I've been privileged, I would say. So started working in Ireland. Okay. That was where I started with my tech experience and all that. Okay. Ireland, from Ireland to UK, from UK, Canada, and it has been tech experience that has been taking me thus far. Okay, so and I usually ask, I usually pose this question and put the question out there that if I wasn't in the tech space, where would I be? What opportunity would have taken me through this journey in the first place? Okay, and those are the things a lot of people are missing out on. Okay, a lot of people are missing out on, and we're going to be exploring that today. Okay, now where are the opportunities in tech? Where are they? Okay, I want to get started. If you've spoken about the opportunities, why we need to transition into the tech space, why we need to do this, why we need to do that. But where are these opportunities? Where are they? Where can we find them? All right, what training program should I take? What course should I take? What skills should I learn in order for me to transition into the tech space? And a wonderful article, like I mentioned earlier, that was written by, the World Economic Forum. Okay, they wrote this particular article, and this article is, like I mentioned earlier, is something that I read. This was far back as 2015-ish, around 2015, that I read. Okay, and that's where they were doing extrapolation of data roles. Okay, people that are going to be, data roles are going to be in demand in the future, and so on and so forth. And that was when I read those articles, and also I mentioned Forbes earlier. Okay, talking about all these opportunities, for data professionals and all that. And I read it, and that's how I was able to transition, focus myself, learned it. And now I would say the ROI, return on investment, of me learning those skills back then and what I'm earning now, I don't even remember the cost I spent. I remember the money I spent on investing in myself back then, right? Because the ROI definitely it's definitely, you'll see the ROI. Don't worry, we'll share some salaries, okay? We'll talk about that. So you see, the ones on the left here are roles that are declining. Okay, let me just get a pen and a piece of paper. Okay, so I can write and you can see some things. So the rows over here on the left, okay, these are the rows that are declining. Okay, this is declining. These rows over here are declining. So the likes of investment fund managers, and one that's really, one that is very interesting to see, the role of a product manager. Okay. So a lot of people will still be looking at, oh, product manager, I want to become a product manager. What? WEF, which is World Economic Forum, has already extrapolated that the role of a product manager is going to be declining, all right, between 2023 to 2027. So people that are currently looking to transition into product managers, okay, in the next couple of years, there is a decline in the roles, all right? There's a decline in the role itself. So, and all other roles in here. But you see the rules that you have here, these are what we call the growing fields. Okay, these are the growing fields. So the likes of what you call AI and machine learning specialists. Now you would have seen this. You would literally have seen this. And we'll talk about the role of data science, all right, and the impact in every business. Now, machine learning, AI, you would have been seeing AI tools here and there. AI for this, AI for picture, AI for chatbots, AI for, for even the new Samsung that came out, the S24 Ultra, all right? It's all AI infused, okay? Use AI to identify pictures, use AI to write better, use AI to do this, use AI to do that, all right? These are AI related roles, okay? And they've extrapolated that this is going to be in demand, all right, currently even the largest of them all. The next thing you're looking at, all right, the next role you're looking at is business intelligence analyst. Business intelligence analyst. Now, these are the people that are going to be making sense of business data. All right. These are the people that will be making sense of the business data. So a business wants to, increase their sales. They want to increase sales. How can they increase their revenue? All right. How can they increase sales? How can they make more money? All right. In order for them to make those kind of decisions, they need data. Okay. And even if they've got the data, they need somebody that has the capacity to manipulate that data to tell a clear story for business intelligence. That's exactly what they'll be doing. All right. Now, the next one is information security analyst. Now, the key word there is security, to protect. Okay. All right. Whatever information that they're gathering, they need to be able to protect it. Okay. So organizations are saying that, oh, if we continue to generate this massive amount of data, all right, and we are gaining popularity, we're gaining user, all right, we need to secure user information. Okay, we need to secure user information. We'll talk about cybersecurity, as we go on. So information security analyst is in demand, and you see data analyst and scientist, okay, also growing in demand. So you see, something I positioned myself for far back as 2015. This is 2023 to 2027. And you see it's still in demand. So you see, you need to position yourself. All right. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Data engineers also, you can see there, data engineers, database architects. Okay. All right. And I'm going to move to the next one. And you see project managers, project managers. All right. So that can also be classified under business analysis and so on. All right. Because there's a thin line between product manager, project managers, and business analysts. Financial analyst, you see there clearly written out, financial analyst, okay, and so on and so forth. So the reason why we went ahead to select some courses, some career paths, all right, the reasons why, we obviously there are quite a lot of roles that are growing currently, all right, there are quite a number of roles that are growing, okay, but we can't do training program on all of them, okay, robotics engineer, okay, all right, if you learn robotics engineering at this point in time, the demand for it is not huge, it's not massive. Maybe you would see maybe a few roles here and there that will pop up every now and then. But compared to the role of a data analyst or a business analyst or a financial analyst that every organization is looking for every single second. All right. So if you go today, you see 100 new roles posted. You go tomorrow, another 150 new roles have been posted. That is high in demand. Okay. All right. So we went ahead to look at three criteria: ease of learning. All right. Ease of learning. So you want to transition. We want to get more Africans into the tech space, into the tech space. So the first thing we need to understand is people don't want to spend 2 years to learn the new skills. As adults, we don't want to spend 2 years, 3 years, 4 years learning a new skill. All right. We don't want to go and do another master's, another degree. Do you understand? Write thesis and all that to get a new school, to get a new job. We don't need to do all that. So we looked at we need to look at career paths that is easy to learn. The ease of learning, obviously, very low. You can learn and you can get started. The next is ease of transitioning and getting a job. You learning a new skill is for you to get a better job, to get a new job, to get a better job. Now, how can you get a better job if if you went ahead to learn a new skill that you're getting opportunities maybe every week you get like 2 new roles posted every new week in the region. Maybe you don't even see anyone in the region. Okay, all right. Maybe you're sitting in another region entirely. Okay, so you see those kind of opportunities. It's very trifling. Okay, so what we're looking at ease of learning, ease of transitioning, regardless of anywhere you are. Okay, you are currently in Canada, you're in the US, you're in the UK, you can get a job. You don't need to change your entire location to get that job. All right. And the last but not the least is high and rewarding salaries. So salaries is obviously one of the major roles, one of the major reasons, because the reasons why a lot of people are doing, menial jobs and working crazy hours is because they want to make more money. All right. They can take in more hours. They want to put in more hours so that they can get more money. But now the flip side is how can you work less hours and make more money? How can you work less hours and make more money? Now, don't worry, I'll show you all these things. No gatekeeping. All right. I'm not gatekeeping any information today. All right. So everything you need to know. Okay, I will shed light on everything. And please, if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat and I will answer those questions. Now, if these are the three criteria that we looked at, ease of learning. Okay, not all the skills that you saw that are in growing demand, that is not all of them that they are not all easy to learn. So what we looked at is ease of learning. The next one is ease of transitioning. The next one is high and rewarding salaries. And we're going to be looking at all this together. And that's what really gave birth to these roles that you see on my screen. So the first one is business analysis. The next one is data analytics, financial analytics, HR analytics, data science, Scrum Master, data engineering, and cybersecurity. So we selected this career path based on those three premises. Okay. First one, ease of learning. You don't need to do too much, okay? You don't need to break your head to learn the skills. All right. Second one is, ease of transitioning, meaning that there's a high demand for these roles every single day. You're getting opportunities in your region, outside your region, anywhere you find yourself, people are looking for these roles. And I will explain the reasons why they are looking for these roles. All right. Business analyst, data analyst, financial analyst, HR analyst, data scientists, scrum master, data engineers, and cybersecurity analysts. All right. So now looking at these 8 career paths in front of you, can you tell me what is your desired career? What is your career? What is your desired career goal going into 2024? All right. What is your desired career path? Let me see. Put it in the chat. Let me just see. All right. Let me see. Which of these career paths? Which of this is your desired career path? Okay. Okay. All right. Cyber. Okay. All right. Business analyst, cybersecurity, data analyst. Okay. All right. That's awesome. All right. So you see, someone is asking, what about UI UX design? Don't worry, I'm gonna send you the World Economic Forum document, and you can read it yourself, so you see exactly where the role of the UI UX analyst or UI UX designer is going to be fit into. All right. So these are the 8 roles that we selected based on those 3 premises. First one is ease of learning. Second one is ease of transitioning, you getting a job. And the third one is higher rewarding salaries. All right. So we're going to be looking at how to land the high-paying tech role this year. How do you do that? How do you secure those opportunity? We're going to be looking at that. But now, one thing most people don't understand is it always seems impossible until it is done. It always seems impossible until it is done. Now, a very perfect example is the lady that we have here, this lady here. Okay. All right. So this lady here is her name is Abigail. Okay. She currently got a job as a business analyst in Edmonton, Canada. Now, guess what? Very quick story. Abigail's friend, attended the masterclass just the same way you are attending the masterclass. Okay. And the friend was amazed to the opportunity that, who could learn something and get a better job. Sent it to Abigail. Okay. Abigail registered for our program. Okay. Abigail registered for the program. And guess what? She got a job as a business analyst in Edmonton. All right. Just, I think, within the 2 months of the training program, she was able to get a job. All right. And, the friend was saying that, Abigail, I sent you this, okay, and you have gone ahead to, register, and now you've gotten a job. And she was laughing that, Almo, you snooze, you lose. Do you understand? All right. She's the person sent it to her, thinking that okay, I'm still deliberating, I'm still, contemplating and so on. All right. Eventually, she registered. She registered, but the friend did not register. All right. And now she works as a business analyst. And what was she doing before? She was working in the care. She was working in healthcare. All right. She was working in the healthcare space, and now she currently works as a business analyst. And guess what? Again, she's leading a team. She has two direct reports reporting to her. Okay. Those are the kind of, wonderful opportunities that you never think you can actually latch into until you are there. It always seems like it's impossible until somebody else does it. Then you're not like, is it that easy? Is it that straightforward? Is it that this? Nobody says it's straightforward. All right. But the opportunities are there. And I'm going to show you some of the opportunities. Okay. The same thing. You see people get a job. This is in Canada. These we have Biola get to the job as a financial analyst, with data analyst, financial analyst, working with one of the financial giants in the UK. All right. We also got Shade also did the same thing. All right, got a job as a data scientist in the UK. Wenger also got a role of a business data analyst in Poland. So when I say we have evidence, people get a job literally in every nook and cranny of the world. Okay, we have enough evidence, and their videos are there. Okay, it's not just persevere, it's not written testimonials. These are video testimonials. They saying that we helped them get the job. All right. So if you are still doubting, okay, like I mentioned, it always seems impossible until somebody else takes that opportunity and gets it done. That's when you now start to believe the person. All right. So we don't have enough time. Like I said, I just want 2 hours. This session is going to be about 2 hours before we call it today. All right. So these are the opportunities. These are just some. This is just four. Okay. This is just four out of the multitude of people that got jobs last year. Just 2023, not even 2022, not in 2021, just last year. All right. So we'll talk about that as we go on. But let's explore some of the average salaries of these tech roles in different regions across the world. The average salary of a business analyst is £52,000 per annum in the UK. In Canada, 74,000 Canadian dollars, and in the US, it is 85,000 US dollars. That's the role of the business analyst. And when they say average, okay, when you look at everybody's role together and you put an average. So if you're like looking to transition, you're going to be looking at the average to say that, okay, this is like a starting point for you. All right. So that's the average you're going to be looking at. Okay. So financial analyst on the flip side, it is £51,000 in the UK. Canada is 69,000 Canadian dollars, and in the US, it is 74,000 US dollars. Data analyst, £40,000 in the UK, 64,000 Canadian dollars, and US dollars. In the US, it is 72,000 US dollars. HR analyst, £32,000 in the UK. Canada is 71,000 Canadian dollars. And in the US, it is 62,000 US dollars. Okay. So just to reiterate, average salary, all right, that's like a starting point. Depending on how you position yourself, you can actually earn more. You can actually request for more in the interview process. We've gotten people that had no prior experience getting jobs as high as £60,000 in the UK. In the US, we had somebody getting a job starting fresh, just finished this master's program. First job was $90,000, 90,000 US dollars. First job, just finished university in the in Nigeria, traveled to the US to do his master's. All right. After the master's program, has not worked anywhere. First salary was $90,000. $90,000. So when they say average, it doesn't mean that that is what you are going to get. Okay, you could always negotiate. I will talk about salary negotiation as we go on. Okay, which is part of what you learn going through 10 analytics. Now, data science also average salary is £55,000 in the UK, $94,000 in Canada, Canadian dollars. In the US, 121 US dollars. Okay, data engineering, £65,000 per annum. That's in the UK, 102,000 Canadian dollars, and in the US, 134 US dollars. All right. Scrum Master, £52,000 in the UK, Canada, 74,000 Canadian dollars. In the US, we have 85,000 US dollars. And for cybersecurity, guys looking to get into cybersecurity, 57,000 pounds for the guys in Canada, for the guys in the UK, 140,000 Canadian dollars for the guys in Canada, and $105,000 in US. Yes, these salaries are obviously, like I mentioned, the average salaries. Okay. And with this opportunity, you will see the reason why a lot of people are relocating to the US. Okay, US, Canada. Okay, and the UK. If you're in the UK, 55,000 is still a very good salary. Okay, all right, it's still a very good salary. Okay, but that's why you see the six figures. A lot of people are relocating to the US and in Canada to get those kind of very good payroll. When you compare salaries across these regions, you'll see that the salaries in the US is slightly more than any other region across the world. They pay more. Okay. All right. So Canada also comes in second. Then you would have also the UK, coming in somewhere around there. Okay. All right. But when you're earning about 65, 55, 50K upwards pounds in the UK, it's considered great. It's largely considered great salary. Okay, so you see all the salaries are considered great on the normal scale. All right. So now the next thing we're going to be talking about, okay, one thing, this is where I want you guys to listen. Um, when you're talking about getting high paying roles, a lot of people don't understand. So when people say get a job in tech, a lot of people are looking at full-time salary, full-time employee, sorry, permanent employee, or we call permanent. You get a full-time job. That's what most people be looking at. Okay, oh, I just got a job. Okay, everybody's looking at full-time. Now, full-time has its benefits. Number one is financial stability. All right. So they can't sack you. Okay. All right. They can sack you, obviously, but there has to be like a due cost. There have to be a due process. Okay. All right. So financial stability, you are within the organization, you get all the things, you get all the perks. All right. You get all the things you need in order for you to get started. So financial stability is there, job security, and other other benefits like paid leave, bonus, stock options, and any other organizational benefit that you get, healthcare, gym membership, and all those things. Okay, so you get all those kind of benefits. Okay, so full-time employees. This when you say people getting a job in tech, most people are looking at full-time. I'm looking for a full-time opportunity. But there is another one that a lot of people, I won't say gatekeeping, all right? People are not just familiar with, and that is contract positions. Contracts. Now, when you say I paycheck role, okay, from my own experience, you get more money working contracts. Okay, and I will show it to you. For the guys in the UK, for the guys in Canada, you get more money working contracts. Okay, than a full-time employee. All right. So let's talk about this. Let's look at it in real life. Okay. Let's go to like an actual website, okay, and look for a job and bring it in here. All right. So I'm just going to go to Indeed. Okay. Indeed Canada. Okay. That's where I am. Okay. So I'll be looking at Indeed Canada. All right. And you see, I've never started searching. Okay. And this right here, this is a business intelligence developer, one of the roles that are in high demand at this point in time. And you see, this is 60 to $80 an hour. 60 to $80 per hour, 1 hour. Every hour you're earning between 60 to $80. Let's do a quick math, okay? Okay, I'm going to bring in a calculator, okay? Just for you to see what contract positions are and how much you're likely going to get, okay? Let's say you're getting $60 per hour in a week, all right? From my own personal experience, it's usually around 37 hours per week. All right. So some companies do 40, some companies do 40, some people do 35, 38, but I'm just going to use the lower end, okay? 37, okay? Some people actually do 35 too, not to just put it out there, but let's just use 37. 37 hours per week. So you work Monday to Friday and you work 37 hours, all right, per week. So that's in a week, you're getting $2,220. $2,220 per week. This is not me that wrote this road there. This is literally just the road there. This is per week. And you do that for 4 weeks in a month. All right. That is $8,880. That is what? $8,880 per month. Okay. Now, this is a fixed term contract. This is currently a fixed term contract. You see, it's a fixed term contract. So most times it's usually like 6 months, 1 year. All right. Sometimes it could be 24 months. They'll usually specify, they'll tell you how many months this contract is going to be for. So now with this 8,800, okay, that you're earning per month, if you do that for a year, okay, let's just say you get a year contract. Let's just put it a year. That is 106,000. All right. This is still between 60 to $80. That's still very good. That's okay. Do you understand? You can still get higher pay. You can still get higher roles that will give you higher pay per hour. Now, I use $60 per hour. If you use $80, okay, let's say you walk your way and you get your $80, all right, and you do that for 37, okay, that will be 2,960, and you do that for okay, 4 weeks you get 11,000 and you do that for, let's say, for 12 months, okay? Sorry, you do that for 12 months, okay? You likely get what? 142,000. So now the good thing about contract roles, especially for the guys in Canada, okay, even for the guys in the UK also, for the guys in the UK also, is you can the guys in Canada, let's start with the ones in Canada. All right. Let me get a pen. No gatekeeping, guys. I'm not gatekeeping anything this year. Okay. You're going to learn all the things to know in order for you to know how to make a decision. All right. So where is my pen? Sorry, I'm just looking for a pen so I can write easily on my screen. Apparently, I don't have a pen, unfortunately. Okay, I'll just go back to my slide so it's easy for me to write. All right, so I'm going to write on my screen. Okay. All right. So for the guys in Canada, okay, for the guys in Canada, or if you're looking to relocate to Canada, I'm not very familiar with the US. I've worked remotely for the guys in the US, for companies in the US, but I never had to file taxes in the US. So I don't know how taxes work in the US. But for Canada, where I reside at this point in time, I can talk confidently about that. So if you work for the month and your salary is about, 11,840 per month, 11,000, your revenue, all right, rev is 11,840, all right? Now, this is no tax, okay? This money will hit your account, will enter into your account. No taxes are deducted, nothing is deducted, all right? So now, you personally, all right, you would have to register a business. You would have to register a business, okay? In order for you to get the contract position, the best thing for you to register a business. Now, for that registration of the business, you can take out your expenses from the business, from that revenue. So you're earning 11,840 every month, 11,000, 11 grand every month. You can register your business and whatever expenses, okay? So you're feeding, Okay, I'm not saying your feeding, your rent, okay, all right, every other thing that has to do with your monthly expenses, all right, you could actually expense it out. Okay, so you can take out all these things, and at the end of everything, you would actually be paying less tax. Okay, after you've taken all out your expenses and business expenses, you bought a screen, you bought a this, you bought a that, you can expense it out, and after those expenses, you will now pay your tax. Okay, so at the end of everything, you would have expensed your tax, you would have expensed all your what do you call it, all your expenses. All right, then at the end of everything, whatever is left is what you pay tax on. So you eventually you'll be paying less tax as a contract employee, working contract. Okay, working contract, you will likely be paying less, you will be earning more money, all right, and you would be paying lesser tax. Okay, and those are the things that you would get to learn, working, contract, anyways. Okay, all right, but the downside is you don't get benefits. You don't get any benefits. So the likes of job security, if it's a 12-month contract that you were hired for, if it's a 12-month contract you were hired for, trust me, after 12 months, you are looking for another job. Okay? You are looking for another job. Okay? If it's a 6-month contract you get, after 6 months, you are looking for another job. Most times, from my own experience, they can extend. Okay. So sometimes the most recent one, my most recent experience, was a 6 month contract. Okay. From that 6 months contract, okay, they extended it. They extended it for another 6 months. All right. That was 1 year. That's a 1 year contract immediately. That's 12 months. Okay. Then after this, they wanted to get me to sign a 24-month contract. 24 months contract. All right. I declined. Okay. Because obviously that would lead me to the next conversation I'm going to talk about. Okay. Okay. All right. But one thing is, and that I didn't get to show you more roles. Okay. I only showed you one, and that was the first thing that popped up. But these rules exist. Okay. This is a business analyst, is 65 grand per year. Okay. For the guys in Canada, machine learning data scientists is another 95 to 105,000 per year. Data analyst intern, you don't need to be looking at that. Okay. All right. But let's just take a look at, let's just say data analyst. Okay. I'm just going to look for the most generic, all right, role. I won't put any province, nothing there. So you can put it in your own province for you to see more about that. All right. I'll just look at contract. Okay. And let's just take a wide look at that. Okay. So you see junior business analyst, $50 per hour, $50 per hour. This is data analyst, $50 to $65 a year. This is another contract, but the salary wasn't specified. All right. There is data engineer slash analyst, $60 to $75 per hour. Okay. And these are all contract position. These are all contract positions. All right. Just by going here, selecting contract. So you'll see it clearly written job type if you're looking for full time. So like I mentioned, full time, you have the full perks, you get full pay, you get your everything, you get your benefits, gym, pension, and all those things. All right. Well, from my own experience, millennials, Gen Z really don't care about. I'm not. You might care about it, all right. But from my own experience, Gen Z, millennials don't really care about all those perks. They care about what am I getting right now? What am I getting at this point in time? So you see a full time, you see a permanent, you see contract. So contracts, majorly, that's where you get it. For the guys in the US, it's the same process. You just filter. For the guys in the UK, all right, I could just go to read.co.uk. All right, read is for the guys, if you have friends in the UK, it's the same opportunity. All right. So if you have anybody in the UK, I'm just going to look at, let's say, data scientist, or let's say data engineer this time around. All right. So for people looking to become data engineers, you see clearly, I'm just going to search. Okay. And for this also, rather than this, I'll just take contract. So you see permanent, temporary contract. I'll take contract just because I'm taking contract because majority of people don't know that these roles exist. So when they see people saying Uping tech role, they're looking at, oh, you're earning 100K per annum. But you can actually work contracts and actually earn more money, okay, and pay less tax, working contracts. Okay. So you see, data center engineer, this is 125 to 129 pounds per day, not per month, not per week. This is what you're earning every single day you're in the office. Okay, this is not per hour. Okay, all right. Even though you have stipulated hours you need to work. Okay, but essentially this is what you're paid per hour. You see, this also 600 to 700 pounds per day. All right, data engineer 550 to 650 pounds per day, not per week. Now, that will take me back to that discussion I talked about. Most people believe that they need to work more hours in order for them to earn more. But now the trick is, how do you work less hours and earn more money? It's by skilling yourself up, by you getting new skills, getting more skills than ever before. All right. This is data engineers. The same thing with cybersecurity. The same thing with data. I can't look at every single role currently, but that's why I'm showing you this so you can do it by yourself. All right. So that's the same thing. Data analyst, data scientist. If you look at data scientist, it's going to literally going to be the same thing. All right. All right. Data scientist, I'm just going to search. I'm going to be looking at contracts and you see it here. All right. 400 to 450 pounds per day, 40 to 450 pounds per hour. This is another 40 to 45 pounds per hour, 400 to 450 pounds per day. All right. This is a fixed term contract, 41 to 54. So these rules exist. So now the key question is, how can you get this? Is it only is it only Europeans that can get these jobs? Absolutely not. All right. I work contracts. That's what I've been doing for the good 2 years, okay, of my experience. All right. And that will lead me to the next conversation I'm going to be having. Millennials, like I mentioned, all right, we want, at least for me, I want my benefits now. I don't want benefits in the future. All right. Gratuities and all those, and all that. If you give me stock option, I might consider it for a very big organization. If it's NVIDIA that is giving me stock option, I will probably consider full-time opportunity. All right. So do you understand? Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is job hopping. I told you about one contract to the other. They renew the contract 6 months or 6 months, and they were trying to tie me down for the next 24 months, and then I left. Okay, why would I leave? Job hopping. All right. I figured out job hopping. This was as early as 2020. All right. And I'd like to share my own personal experience because it drives it home better for most people. Job hopping basically means you're moving from one role to the other. You're spending maximum of a year, 2 years on that particular role before you move to the next role. Okay. So that's exactly what it is. Basically, just what people would say, what people would call instability in the past is now there's a name for it now, what we call job hopping. Okay, so meaning you're just staying in that role for like a year maximum and you're moving. And I'll use our own participants also to share those experiences. So my own experience basically finished my master's, got a job as a business intelligence analyst in one of the very reputable logistics firms. All right. Stayed there for about 6 months, started applying for jobs, got a job with Dell. Okay, Dell, the laptop producers, electronics producers, and all that, was a supply chain analyst role. Okay, got the job, very great salary. Went to my organization I was working with at that point in time to resign. Okay, the head of the department, okay, because I'd worked on several initiatives within that 6 months I'd worked with them. I'd built several things that were very impactful for the business. Okay, so the guy was like, "Oh my guy, you can't leave. He's an Irishman, so you can't leave." Okay, and what did he do? He upped the salary to get to be the same with what they were offering in Dell, and gave perks, gave additional benefits. Okay, give some additional benefits. So 2 months into the new role, I rejected the offer from Dell, then continued working, okay, with this organization. Stayed there for another like 2 months. But when you apply for jobs, you apply for several jobs. There are several. So I got a call one Friday evening, or I did the interview that Friday, did another interview, I think the coming week, and I got the offer. Okay. The offer was it was a lot bigger than even what I had what I had requested for. Okay, got the job. Okay, went to resign from my current organization, and immediately I told him that I'd gotten a better offer, and I was considering taking it and all that. It was like, bro, take it. Do you understand? It's not every time you get a new offer. I can remember exactly what he said. It's not every time you get a new offer, we're going to up your salary to match. Do you understand? So it was funny. Obviously, we have a very good rapport. We have a good relationship. So we laughed it off, and he wished me all the best. And I went over to the organization. Long story short, within that period of 8 months of me just starting work, I had gotten two offers. Salary had jumped two times. All right, I actually got 3x of what I was looking for. What's the 3x? That's almost. I got over 100% increase from what I had started earning in the same year. Within the same year, over 100% increase. What I was earning. Okay, so essentially, at that point in time, it not dawned on me that, I can actually be changing my job every 6 months. Okay. All right. 6 months, 1 year, never even knew the word job upping. I never even knew what job upping was at that point in time. But essentially, that's exactly what most people are doing at this point in time. And let me tell you a story about our participants. Got a job in the UK. All right. And his salary at that point in time was £32,000 per annum. £32,000. All right. So it was a big boy. It was a senior manager. Like it was working in the bank. So it was like a senior guy, head of a department. Went through the financial analytics training program. Got a job. Working as a financial analyst. The first salary was £32,000. All right, per annum. So obviously he felt it was small. All right, he was excited, no doubt. I have a job that sponsored me in the UK. I don't have anything. I'm fine. Do you understand? All right. And guess what? Just about 8 months into that role, all right, this guy got another job that was paying him £60,000. £60,000. All right. Coming from 32 to 60. If you don't believe it, all right, you will never understand how you will never understand the whole benefit of job hopping. I'm not saying you have to do job hopping. All right. I'm not saying that you should be jumping every 1 year, every 2 years. Some people see it as inconsistency. All right. There's a way I do mine, okay, that it might not show on my timeline. All right. It might not show on my, so if you check me out on LinkedIn, you will likely not see. All right. The number of contracts I'm holding at this point in time, you will not see it on my profile. All right. So there's a way we work around job hopping to ensure that you still show that consistency in your movement. But essentially, this is one thing you need to consider going into 2024. So if you're starting at 32,000, okay, nobody says you should stay in that role for 5 years and be earning 2,000 increase every 1 year, every year, any 2K increase. When your mates is getting almost a 10, 15 grand increase, moving to another job, you're getting a 2K increase. So those are the things that you need to understand. All right. And that's one of the reasons also I rejected the offer from 6 to 24 month contract. I rejected it because my increase would have not, I would never have gotten an increase. Okay. Me moving from that particular role to a new role, I got a significant jump from what I was earning from the organization. But if I had signed that 24 months contract, I would have still be earning, a tiny bit more than what I was earning before. All right. So, it could be, all right, but these are the things you need to consider. Increase salaries, diverse skill sets, networking opportunities, avoid career stagnation, okay, and adaptability and resilience. Those are the things you need to, all right, to talk about, okay. So how can you get into this tech career path? Very simple. I'm going to just spend the next maybe 15, 20 minutes to talk about this. How can you get started? Okay, I'm interested. I'm interested in business analysis. I'm interested in data analytics. I'm interested in financial analytics, HR analytics, full stack data science, data engineering, Scrum Master, cybersecurity. I will also be bringing this in the future, AI engineering. Okay, so I'm interested in any of these career paths. What do I need to learn to get started? I said, man, I'm excited. These things are there. Okay, the reason why I did a practical is so that you personally can go on your own website and check. It's not gatekeeping. I'm not using another internet. It's the same internet we're using. All right. Google your search, your Google and use Indeed. Indeed is like the most popular place, all right, that you could use. If you have other searches, other job boards within your region, use those job boards. All right. You have built-in, you have Glassdoor, you have, for the guys in the UK, you have Read, you have CV Library, You have which one is very popular again? Total jobs. All these things are there. Google it, you'd see that these opportunities are there. It's not about contract, full time, and any one of your choice. You can apply to any one of them. And once you get it, you're good to go. All right. So the role of a business analyst, first of all, who is the business analyst? A lot of people think the business analyst is equals to the data analyst. All right. I'm very sure some people on this call honestly believe that the role of the business analyst is the same thing as data analyst, but that is a big no. The role of the business analyst, this guy, this professional, is more interested in what we call process. Okay? See, every organization is made up of processes. Every single organization on the planet is made up of process. So take, for example, you, an employee, you want to go on leave. What do? You apply for a leave. How do you apply for leave? You send an email or you go to a web application where you can schedule your leave application. Then somebody would have to approve. Then once the person approved, HR will need to approve. Okay? There's a process that it goes through. Once that approval process is done, then you get an email to say your leave request has been approved. Okay? There's a process. So if leave can get approved, for you to get your leave approved, there's a process for that. Every other process, right? Even you, how did you get to this call currently? How did you find yourself on a Zoom call this evening? It's a process. There was a marketing campaign, or you saw an advert, or you saw something, or your friend sent it to you. You registered, you entered the group chat. From the group chat, a link was sent, or you provided your email, and an email was sent to you for you to join. There's a process that landed you to this particular place. All right. Now, the key role of this business analyst is to look at this process and how can we what enhance this process. All right, enhance the process. How can we make this process 100 times, 10 times better, 100 times better than it used to be? Okay, all right. So take for example, quick one. So let's look at Konga this time around. All right, Konga e-commerce. Let's say Konga is currently delivering in 5 days. So if you order something on Konga, they will deliver it to you within 5 days. They'll deliver like in 5 days. The business analyst will look at this process. We look at this process of what we call delivery. Okay, we look at the process of delivery, all right, and see how can we make this process more efficient. First off, they'll do what we call benchmarking. Okay, benchmarking to be able to look at what competitors are doing. All right. So their competitors, the likes of, GHL, the likes of, no, I said DHL, the likes of Jumia, the likes of any other e-commerce sites that you have in Nigeria at this point in time. They look at those, processes and they say that, oh, their competitors are doing it on average, they're doing it within 3 days. Okay. They're doing it within 3 days. All right. But their own business currently is doing it in 5 days. All right. So what these business analysts will design what we call a process map. Okay, a process map. Okay, that will do what? Analyze, that will map up the current state, which is also the current process. Okay, so the current state or with the current process is giving you 5 days delivery. 5 days. The future state, which is where we are going to, we want to reduce it. Okay, the future state, the desired output. We want to get it down to, let's say we want to do better than our competitors. Okay, we want to do it in 2 days. Okay, and that's where we talk about gap. Okay, there's a gap, something that is hindering the current state from going to the future state. What is that gap? What is hindering the current state moving to the future state? And that's what we call gap analysis. Okay, all right. So these are basically the things that the business analyst will be doing. How can we enhance the process? How can we build, okay, a solution, okay, or buy a solution? Is it that you build or you buy? How do you build or how do you buy? Software development life cycle. How do you elicitate? How do you talk to people? How do you document processes? That's exactly the role of the business analyst. So you see, these guys, what do you need to learn to get started? You see, the first thing you need to learn is data analytics skills, which is Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Now, you would be wondering, if a man, you said that data business analysis and data analytics are not the same thing. Why does the business analyst have to learn data analytics? Very simple and straightforward. Majority of the roles now, okay, all right, are looking to hire data business analysts with a spice of data analytics. All right. So it's a requirement. It's not stringent. It's not a stringent requirement, but it gives you an upper hand if they are recruiting for a business analyst and you have this data analytics skills, it gives you an upper hand. All right. And that's coming from we in the industry. We know this. We've seen it play out several times. And that's exactly why we added it to our curriculum to say that, to give you that advantage in the job market. All right. Obviously, there are quite a number of business analysis roles coming up here and there. What will give you that opportunity? What will give you that advantage is your data analytics skills, and that's the reason why you learn that first. Then, after learning that, you move into the BA aspect, all right, which is the business analysis. So you do what we call process mapping. You learn project initiation planning. You learn agile and scrum for projects, software development lifecycle, requirement fundamentals, elicitation, stakeholder analysis and engagement, ChatGPT for analysis, and so on and so forth. So this key part, number 2 to number 9, these are the core features of the business analyst. All right, these are the key things you need to learn in order for you to become a business analyst. This right here is just an add-on for you to stand out in the application process. And you see, majority of these roles now, you'll see what we call business, okay, data analyst, okay? All right, these rules exist, all right? And I'll just quickly go and do a search. So you also will see, and you see that, oh, this guy is not just calling it out, all right? Business, okay? Data analyst, okay? Business data analyst roles, all right? This is for the guys in the UK, all right? Data business analyst, data business, and this is contract. This is not full time. All right, this is literally just contract. 300, 350, 350, 400, 350, 400 to 500 to 2.2, and so on and so forth. All right. All right. Cyber business analyst, business analyst, business data analyst. So these roles exist. They're not made up. Okay. So this is basically the business analyst that has data analytics skills. All right. And these roles are there. So you would learn the business analysis aspect, then you would learn data analytics, then you can apply for a major, you have literally, when they say sand, all right, when you go to the beach and you see sand, it said it's a lot of sand, obviously a lot of sand. That's kind of opportunity that you get. So it's not just business analysis roles you can apply to. You can apply for business data analyst roles. You can apply for some type of data analyst roles. So it's very flexible. The opportunities are there for you. And that's why we have such a robust curriculum to get you started. All right. Now, the data analyst, this is the person in charge of analyzing data, the data that the business is generating. Somebody said, if you mean business analytics, no, they're not the same thing. Business data analyst, they are not the same thing. Business analytics is more related to the role of data analytics. So this guy, all right, is what we call data analytics. Okay, data analytics. All right. Now, a lot of people use data analytics. Some people will say it's business analytics. All right. All right. Do you understand what that is? Okay. So now these are the guys that are using data to answer questions. Okay. So now data analytics. Okay. There are 2 types. There are 4 types actually. I'll come back to the 4 types. Well, out of that 4 types of analytics, there are 4 types. 4 types of analytics. Okay. All right. So when you're talking about data analytics, there are 4 types of data analytics. There is descriptive analytics and there is diagnostic analytics. Descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. Now, descriptive analytics is answering the question, what happened? What happened? Kilo shele. What happened? Diagnostic analytics is actually another question. Why did that happen? Did it happen? Okay. All right. So what happened and why did it happen? Now, the data analyst, this person that knows data analytics, or what we call business analytics, okay, all right, is this professional data analyst, data analytics, business analytics, all right, would answer these two questions. They would use data, okay, to answer these questions. What happened and why did that particular thing happen? All right. So if you're looking at a company, okay, okay, so yes, we'll talk about prescriptive and predictive later. But for the data analyst slash business analytics professional, they would answer just these two questions. What happened and why did it happen? Now, first question, what happened? If the question comes, what was our sales last year? What was the sales for the business last year? This data analyst would analyze the data and do a visualization and say January, February, March, April, May, and let's say June. Okay? And you see the visualization will look something close to this. All right? It will look like this. Okay? All right, let's just do it like this. Okay, so yeah, we did 2000, 2000 or $2,000. We made a profit of $2,000. Yeah, we made a profit of $3,000. Yeah, a profit of $4,000. Yeah, we went to two, let's say 1.8 thousand. All right, yeah, we did 1,000, and yeah, we did about 10 grand, 10K. All right, so this is our profit year on year. So you see what happened last year. The data analyst will analyze the data and tell a clear story on what happened month on month last year. We made 2,000 in January. We made 3,000 in February. We made 4,000 in March, and so on and so forth. All right. Now, the next question is, why did it happen? Why? Why did we generate a revenue of 2,000? Why did we generate a revenue of 3,000? Why did we generate a revenue of 4,000? Why did we jump from $1,000 to $10,000? Was there this significant jump? Why was there a significant jump this particular month? Okay, so that's why the data analyst will now start using data to analyze and tell a story on why this particular jump. Okay, you now start to see the data analyst, answering questions around marketing to say that, oh, we did more marketing, we did a particular campaign. All right, we used Wizkid as our influencer. All right, we used Davido to do our adverts, and because of his popularity, because of this, because of that, he was able to generate. That's the reason why we're able to generate this much revenue. Oh, we're able to, we did, Google ads. All right, we did a little bit of rebranding. All right, so we took out a survey and we found out that people recommended, word of mouth recommendation and so on and so forth. So because we jumped from 1K to 10K, the person is this data analyst or business analytics professional is looking at how to answer that question. Why did it happen? Why did we generate 10K as against the 1K we did last month? Why did you generate 4K? Why did we do 1,800 in this particular month? So this is what the data analyst will be doing, answering these critical questions. What happened and why did that particular thing happen? All right. So now the key role, this for data analyst you will learn problem solving, key skill that you need to learn. You need to be able to reduce problems. Like I mentioned, you'll be answering these questions, and in answering these questions, you need to be able to problem solve. Because majority of the problem, a lot of people think problem is negative. Okay, we are making a loss. That's a problem. Okay, our customer base is declining. That's a problem. No, if you make a profit, it's a problem. It's a good problem. You made a profit. Okay, you need to find out the reason why you make that profit. Okay, you need to find out, you need to deduce the reasons why you're making a profit. Because if I know why I made profit last month, I would want to continue on that path to continue to make that profit. Okay, all right. If I'm making a loss, I also want to know the reasons why I'm making a loss so I can run away from it. All right, or I can find a way to reduce that particular risk itself. Okay, so problem solving is an essential skill set of a data analyst. You learn Excel. You need to learn Excel for descriptive diagnostic analytics. And that's where you start to use Excel for analysis, visualization, dashboarding, and so on. Okay, you learn SQL, you learn Power BI, you learn Tableau. You see, you're learning the key technologies that will keep you ahead of the pack in the job market. All right, so you're learning the key technologies, visualization technologies, Power BI and Tableau. And you'd also learn Excel, which is one of the still in-demand skill for the data analyst position. You would also learn SQL, which is majorly guys, for database query, for database analysis and all that. Okay, now moving into data storytelling, okay, which is now an essential skill set, okay, an in-demand skill set of a data analyst because as you're telling the story, you're answering questions, what happened and why did it happen? You need to be able to tell it in a clear and defined story. You need to be able to tell it in a clear story. What happened and why did it happen? So that's how you're using data to tell a story. And that's what we call data storytelling. And you will also get to see ChatGPT for analytics, Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. ChatGPT, obviously AI, so you are learning in-demand skills that will put you ahead of the curve. Okay, so you can use ChatGPT to perform your analysis faster than a regular analyst. Okay, also you will also learn Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. Microsoft Fabrics is relatively new. All right, it's not something that has been requested for, but we're teaching our guys, people going through to analytics so that they can stay ahead of the job market so that when we become, in demand, like people are requesting for it, organizations are requesting for it, you would have those skills already. Okay, so you can always move from one role to the other. So Microsoft Fabrics is definitely a must-have for you if you're looking to, stay relevant in the next, in the future, essentially. So you see, all the tools, all the technologies you're learning are in demand. Okay, they are definitely that will put you ahead of everybody. Learning data analytics. So the learning call for this is for 4 months. You learn this data to become a data analyst. You learn this for 4 months, 3 months of immersive learning, and 1 month of internship. 3 months of learning, case study, project-based learning, and 1 month internship, 1 month free virtual internship. All right. So moving on to HR analytics, these are the guys that are in charge of, human resource data, and they are using, people data. All right. They're using what? People data, employee data, what we call people data. Okay. There are data analysts that work with people data that can analyze people data and turn it into insights. Okay. So if we're looking at roles like, people analyst, compensation analyst, benefit analyst, performance analyst, and so on. So basically, these are HR roles, okay, that are using what we call data analytics, okay, right, to generate insights for employee based on employee data. So if you're looking at recruitment, for example, how can you use recruitment data? How can you use recruitment data? How can you analyze this data to know the best performing, all right, the best performing candidates? All right. How can you figure out the best candidates? How can you determine the best channel for your recruitment? Okay. So obviously organizations are recruiting here and there, and they have different channels through LinkedIn, all right, through school, head hunting, through going to schools, campus, fairs and all that. When you look at this over time, you would have seen a trend. Okay. How can you use data to see this trend? All right. Performance evaluation. How do you know the best performing employee? How can you determine? How can you improve? How can you take a low performing employee? All right. And how can you transform into a high performing employee using data? Okay. How can you use data for succession planning? All right. Okay. Succession planning. Basically, a succession planning is looking at the organization structure and you're looking at, okay, if somebody leaves the organization, who within the organization will be able to take on that person's role. So basically, using data, essentially data analytics, to make the role of the HR analyst, the role of HR more strategic. It's literally the long story short. Okay. How can you use data to make the role of the HR, okay, the role of HR become more strategic? Okay, so a lot of people think that HR is just, oh, I want to go on leave, book my leave, and all that. So the role of the role of HR is becoming more strategic, and that's because of data. Okay, so you see problem solving, Excel, Power BI, and SQL. You see these are the key skills you learn, and these key skills are related to data analytics. Okay, problem solving, you will learn it like the data analyst. Excel, you learn it like the data analyst. Power BI, you will learn it like a data analyst. SQL, you would also learn it like the data analyst. So you learn all four of them, okay, like the data analyst, and you move into this part, which is now how you use data analytics within HR. Okay, so you learn HR analytics and lifecycle. Okay, HR analytics and performance evaluation, HR metrics and lifecycle, HR analysis and dashboarding, collaboration and report automation, chat GPT for analytics, building your case and creating action. So basically, the HR analyst is a data analyst, all right, that is laser focused on using data to solve HR problems. Okay, using data to solve HR problems. Okay, all right, so you'll still be doing your descriptive and diagnostic analytics, but your core focus will be using it to solve HR related problems. Now, the learning curve for this is for 4 months. Okay, 4 months. Okay, 3 months of learning and 1 month of internship. 4 months, 3 months of learning, 1 month of internship. All right. The financial analytics training program, let me just talk about that real quick. Okay. Combines three career paths. One, corporate finance. Okay. So if you're looking to work in treasury of any organization or investment arm of any organization, this is the training program for you. So first thing, the training program combines corporate finance, investment banking. Okay, so if you want to work as an investment banker, investment analyst, or whatever the case might be, this training program is for you. And the last but not the least, number three, data analytics. So this training program combines all three of these career paths together: corporate finance, investment banking, and data analytics, combines them all together. Now, what do you need to know about this? This is the professional that uses financial data. Okay, so this is the financial analytics professional is the person that uses data to answer financial problems. All right, to answer financial, all right, problems. Okay, within the organization. All right. So you're using data as a financial professional. So a lot of people think finance is just, bookkeeping and so on and so forth. But now it has really modified. It has moved away from just using the regular bookkeeping and all that to using data, financial data. Okay, financial data. All right, to make informed decision. Now you look at the real life scenarios where you look at mergers and acquisition, you look at making investment opportunities, divesting, and so on. In order for you to do those, in order for an organization to take those decisions, they need financial analysts to be able to use financial data, all right, to come up with what we call insights, okay, for strategic decision making. All right. So you see, another thing you have noticed is you learn problem solving like the data analyst. You learn Excel like the data analyst. You learn Power BI like the data analyst, and you would also learn SQL like the data analyst. But now, with all these data analyst skills, you will now be lazy. You will take it into finance. Okay, you now be laser focused on finance data. Okay, so you take all the skills of the data analyst and you implement it within the financial workspace. So you learn accounting fundamentals, even if you're a beginner. You learn financial analysis. You learn financial modeling. You learn valuation. You learn sensitivity and scenario building analysis. And you'll also get to work with ChatGPT for analytics. All right. So basically, you learn data analytics like the data analyst. But what makes you different from the regular data analyst is you are now laser focused on using data analytics to solve financial problems. Okay, and coming up with insight for strategic decision making. Now, after learning all this, the learning curve for this timeline is for 4 months. Okay, 3 months of learning and 1 month of internship. 3 months learning, life class learning, project-based learning, and 1 month of internship. Now, the data scientists, we talked about four types of analytics before. Okay, I talked about 4 types of analytics. Okay, 4 types of analytics. Okay, number one is descriptive analytics. Number two is diagnostic analytics. Number three is predictive analytics. And number four is prescriptive analytics to prescribe. Okay, all right, prescriptive analytics. So descriptive analytics, this is answering the question, what happened? Okay, what happened? Okay, this one is answering why did it happen? All right, and businesses are trying to figure this out. Okay, and the last but not the one that you have here is what will happen? What will happen? Future. What will happen? Okay, and the last but not listing is course of action. What is the best course of action? Okay, course of action. Now, we'll talk about this quickly, okay? So what happened? Now, this data scientist, all right, a lot of people think the role of the data scientist is the same as the role of a data analyst, okay? A lot of people think they mean the same thing, but that's not the case. The role of a data scientist is different from the role of a data analyst based on this premise. The data analyst would only focus on these two, okay? The data analyst will only focus on what happened and why did it happen. But the data scientist on the flip side would answer 3 questions out of 4, which is what happened, why did it happen, and what will happen. We use that example in the future: January, February, March, April, May, and June. So you have your data that visualizes what happened every single month, January to June. But now the key question is, what will not happen from July, okay, to December? What would happen July to December? What will happen? Will our sales increase, okay, or will our sales reduce? Who would answer this question? The data scientist using statistical modeling, okay, statistical modeling, machine learning, and all other things, deploy all other initiatives in order for them to be able to predict, okay, predict, okay, forecast, okay, into the future to find out what would happen. Are we going to get an increase or are we going to get a decrease in our sales? So that's the role of a data scientist. And that's what makes it different from the role of a data analyst. The data analyst will answer 2 questions, and the data scientist is moving on to answer the third question, which is predictive analytics. What will eventually happen? Now, in order for you to be able to do these predictions and all this, all the role of the data analyst, the data scientist, I mean, you will need to learn statistics. Okay, not like the statistics you learned in secondary school. All right, you'll be learning statistics that are more impactful for the business. All right, so how do you use mean median mode to make decisions within the business? How do you use Instagram? How do you work with box plots? How do you work with standard deviation? So all these things that we learned in secondary university now, it feels so out of place for us. All right, you get to learn statistics in real time and see how it can be applied to the business world. Okay. Thereafter, you move into forecasting and predictive analytics using Excel. So basically, you use Excel for descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, and predictive analytics. You would also use Tableau for the same thing, descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive analytics. Then you move into SQL, you learn SQL, you learn Python, you learn exploratory data analysis, you learn machine learning, okay? You learn computer vision, you work with GitHub for version control. You also get to learn ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot for coding, and you also get to work with Microsoft Fabric. So when they see something is robust to give you an edge in the job market, and that's the reason why a lot of people think that it's impossible for you to learn data science in 3 months and get a job. Well, we have proof. We have proof of people getting jobs, not just in Nigeria, all right, but even in other countries, the UK, for example, in Canada, in the US. And I showed you this opportunity. There's nobody that says that if somebody, a black person should not apply for it or an African should not apply for it. And those are the opportunities that we're missing out on as Africans. Okay. So you see, these roles you can actually learn, okay, and transition into this role. All right. From statistics all the way to Microsoft Fabrics, everything project based, and you'll learn everything within 4 months, 3 months of learning, 1 month of internship, 1 month of free virtual internship, 1 month of free virtual internship. And that will give you everything you need in order for you to become a data scientist. All right. Moving on to the role of a data engineer. The data engineer basically moves data from data sources, okay, from different data locations, okay, into a central location, all right, that is then used for analytics. Okay, that might sound very, 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 very weird to you. So let's just, these places, we call them data source. We call these places data source. Okay, let's take, for example, let's say you work in a bank. You work in a bank. Okay, you work in a bank. So at the end of the year, 2023, okay, you, the CEO of the bank, you're saying that, okay, I want to know what payment channel, payment what payment channel do people use the most? Okay. What payment channel do people use the most? So payment channel, the first one that you have here, I would say, let's say the first one here is ATM. All right. The second one is mobile app. Okay. The next one is, let's say, what else is there? You have the ATM, you have mobile app, let's say POS. Okay. So data source. You see, your transactions in your ATM, when you go to the ATM to transact, to do any form of transaction, it will store that data, that's your transaction data, will store in the ATM database. I'll call it DB. That's database. Mobile app, when you go to the mobile app to transact also, it will store that data in your mobile app DB. Mobile app, okay? I'll put app here, mobile app DB database. So all the data, all the transaction data will be stored in the mobile app. POS, the same thing. When you do your transaction in POS, all that POS data will be stored in a POS DB, all right? In a POS database, all right? Now, the key question is now, you want to know the payment channel that people used the most, that was used the most, all right? In order for you to do this analytics, all right, you need all the data from all the three sources. 1, 2, 3. You need all the data from these three sources in order for you to know which one was used the most. All right. So the data engineer is going to do what we call ETL. Is going to build what we call ETL pipelines. Okay, pipelines. Okay, let me just get an eraser to erase this one here. Okay, and get my pen back. All right, it's going to build what we call ETL pipeline, data pipeline. Okay, so what does E stand for? Extract. That's the first thing. So basically, they want to they'll consolidate it, consolidate all that data. All right, consolidate. All right, consolidate data. I'll call this one. We call it a data warehouse. Okay, so you see the data from ETL. The data engineer will do what? Will extract, first of all, E for extract, will extract the data, okay? Will transform, T for transform, and then load into the data warehouse. Will extract the data from ATM, all the transactions from the ATM, will extract the data, will transform the data. When you say transform, basically you mean you're cleaning the data. All right, you're cleaning the data. Clean. You are removing unwanted characters. You are structuring. You are doing it in the right structure. You're basically ensuring that it is clean and good enough for analysis. So once you transform it, you basically just load it into your data warehouse, and that's the pipeline. You will build the same pipeline for the mobile app database. Move the data from the mobile app, all right, into the data warehouse. Would extract, would transform, and load it into the data warehouse. The same thing with the POS. The data from the POS. The data engineer would extract the data from the POS, transform the data, and load it into the data warehouse. So in this data warehouse now, you would have all the data from ATM, you would have all the data from the mobile app, okay, okay, and you would have all the data from POS. So you would have all three of them inside your data warehouse, okay? Now, this data warehouse, this is where the data analyst, okay, the data analyst and the data scientist, this is where they will get their data. All right. You see those descriptive diagnostics and predictive analytics that we're talking about? Okay. This is where they're getting the data from. The data they will use to answer these questions, this is where they are getting the data from. So if the data engineer doesn't exist, these guys, the data analyst and the data scientists, would not be able to do their job. All right. So it's the data engineer that will take data from data sources and move them to what we call data destination. Okay, data source to data destination. So from point A to point B. Okay, moving from ATM database to this data warehouse, mobile app database to the consolidated warehouse, and you have POS data to the consolidated warehouse. So basically, these guys are moving data from different aspects of the business to ensure, all right, the data analyst and the data scientists can do their job properly. Okay, can do their job properly without any hassle, without any stress. They can make the insights they want to make to get what they're looking for. Right? Now, in order for you to do this, in order for you to become a data engineer, okay, all right, you have to start with introduction to data engineering. Okay, you move into SQL, you move into Python, you learn Python, you learn SQL, you get to work with Linux. Okay, then you start to build your own custom ETL pipelines, like I talked to you about. So you get to work with databases, you get to work with API sources, and you also get to work with web scraping. All right, web scraping. So you do web scraping is part of the project. Okay. Now you would also get to work with Apache Spark, PySpark for for data transformation, for data data transformation, and also pipeline building. Also, you get to work Apache Airflow. You get to work with AWS Cloud Engineering. You get to work with GitHub for version control, and you also get to work with ChatGPT and GitHub for coding. So you see, you get roles around AWS cloud engineering. You can apply for it. You get some roles as data engineer, BI developers. You can get on this role. There are quite a number of roles you can actually apply to based on the curriculum that you have in here. All right. So once you finish this curriculum, starting from the basics, introduction to data engineering. So that's when you start to learn, what is data engineering, who is a data engineer, what is a database, what is a data warehouse, what is ETL, what is, data lake, what is data mats, and all these key fundamentals that you need to understand. Thereafter, you move to SQL, you move to Python, Linux, ETL pipelines, Apache Spark, Apache Airflow for automation. All right. And you work with AWS cloud engineering, and you work with GitHub for version control and ChatGPT for GitHub. Okay. Now you also did learning call for this is for 5 months. Okay, 3 months of learning, 3 months of learning, and 2 month virtual internship. So you get 2 months free virtual internship. Okay, 2 months free virtual internship. So looking to become a data engineer, this is exactly what you need to do to get started. Now, the Scrum Master, on the other hand, if you're looking to become a Scrum Master, very interesting, fast, and quick way to get into the tech space. The Scrum Master role, is something that you should be looking out for. So Scrum Master basically ensures that, certain projects, okay, within the organization are done more efficiently. All right, efficiently. All right, tech project. okay, are done more efficiently. So let's say an organization like Instagram, okay, Instagram. You see, before, in order for an application to push out an update, you see the update that we're getting frequently now is basically based on the methodology called Scrum. Okay. So rather than you waiting before you have a final product, okay, how can you work with your product? Okay, rather than waiting till you get your final product, and that final product, let's say it takes you 1 year in order for you to get that final product. The thing is, for Scrum, how can we do it in less that time? Okay, so you see nowadays, all right, your even from your what do you call it, from your mobile app or from your phone, Android, you're using Android, you get updates. Okay, you get updates. The update can be very small. It could just be a few things that they've changed. Okay, but rather than waiting till they have the final thing, all the final things of that particular application done and completed, okay, you have a final product. Rather than waiting till you have the final product, how can you break this final product into what we call sprints? Okay, into sprints, which majorly are on a monthly basis, to say, okay, this month, let's work on, let's say, a drop down feature. Let's do a drop down feature. Okay. Let's do a drop down feature. Okay. Next month, let's work on something else. Let's work on, redesigning the home page. Redesign, okay, the home page. Let's work on redesigning the home page. The next one, let's work on, changing something else. So every month, rather than waiting till you get the final product, until before you deploy, how can we do it? How can we do it in phases, different phases? So remember before, when you're looking at Windows, a perfect example is Windows application. All right, so you will see Windows 99, Windows 98, Windows 2000, Windows 2000 and this, 2000 and that. But you now see that they don't have those things anymore. They now have Microsoft 365. Okay, they have Microsoft 365, they have, Windows this, Windows that. All right. You see now they're updating on a more regular basis. So rather than waiting 1 year before you see the latest updates, you're not seeing those updates in a month's time, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. All right. The same thing with your Instagram, for example. Today, once you go on your application, you can, if you want to send somebody a message, you can click here, all right, on the top right button. You can click there to send somebody a message. But now you find out that tomorrow they've changed it from that top to the bottom. Okay, that is part of them redesigning that page. But rather than waiting till they have everything redesigned and push it, they are doing it bit by bit. Okay, first thing they'll move this one to this place, they'll move something else from here, they'll move another one from here to this place, they'll move the one from here to this place. Do you understand? So they're doing it bit by bit. All right. So rather than waiting to the final product, they've broken down that final product into different sprints to see how they can finish this faster and more efficiently than ever before. All right. So that's the role of the Scrum Master. So the Scrum Master essentially is literally one way that I can tell you that there are quite a number of opportunities for, especially for the guys in Canada, the guys in the US. This is a must still. This is a huge still, and even the guys in the UK also, and anybody in Europe in general. All right. So introduction to Scrum is the first thing you will learn. The Scrum team and artifacts, next thing. The Scrum artifacts is the next one you get to work with. Scrum events, Nexus Scale Scrum, and also you get to prepare for the ESM examination. Now, the training timeline for this is 2 months. 1 month of live classes, 1 month quick and dirty, learn it as much as possible, learn as fast as possible, and transition. The 1 month of real world experience, you getting real life experience, you working on a virtual internship and gaining real life experience. Okay. So you to become a scrum master, okay, it takes you 2 months, 1 month of learning and 1 month of working on real life internship. Now, looking at cybersecurity also, okay, cybersecurity obviously is in demand, okay. If you personally, you, a single individual, you are protecting your password on your email. Your password on your email is protected. All right. So you have a password, you have what we call two-factor authenticator, okay, on your email. So you log in on your email, all right, you put in your password, but your device, you still have to confirm that it is you. Do you understand? That's the second level of authentication. Okay. Even your WhatsApp, the same thing. Your mobile banking, the same thing. You have two-factor authenticator on all your devices. All right. And why are you doing this? Okay. It's basically to protect your protect yourself, to protect your data, your bio data, your information. So if somebody can beat this your system and get access to your data, it means that they can do and undo. All right. So I usually use this very good example. All right. A friend of mine's WhatsApp was hacked. Okay. Was hacked. And through that particular WhatsApp that was hacked, okay, about five of his friends, including myself, okay, were scammed. Five. Okay. Personally, I sent this scammer 30,000 naira. Okay. 30,000 naira. So the guy sent me a message saying that, oh, he had exceeded his limit for the day. If you may, please send me this guy 5,000 naira, 30,000 naira. Okay. I did not hesitate because this is my friend. Okay. I shouldn't be expecting him to scam me. So without a doubt, I was like, sure, bro, no problem. Send the person 30,000 naira. It was when the person came back to ask for another 30K, I knew that something was wrong. Then that's when I started asking questions and I found out the guy was a scammer. But you see, the last time we discussed about that same day, within 24 hours, okay, five other friends were scammed, okay, of different amounts, obviously. Okay. So you see, if an individual that just have contacts, let's say maximum 200, 300 contacts on their phone, all right, based on that personal information, based on, a scammer, okay, or what we call hackers, okay, was able to hack his WhatsApp, okay, just has about, let's say, ridiculously 200 contacts on his WhatsApp, okay, and based on those 200 contacts, they were able to scam about five people and cut away with different amount of money. Let's say they were even able to cut away with 100,000 naira, okay, they were able to cut away with 100K. Now, this is somebody that just has 200 users, contacts on their phone. Now, imagine an organization, okay, an organization with, millions of customers. All right. Now, if the same hacker can get access to these millions of customers' data, all right, do you know how much data, how much fraudulent transaction that they could actually do? So the likes of Patricia, Patricia, the cryptocurrency company. All right. You see, those kind of things happen in real time, and those are the things that you need to learn. And that's why the demand for cybersecurity analysts has increased over time. So for cybersecurity, you need to understand the introduction to cybersecurity, foundation of computing and networking, information security principles, offensive and defensive cybersecurity, cryptography basics. You get to work with cyber threat and attack vectors, network security, endpoint security, web application security, cloud security, and independent response and forensic, cloud cybersecurity policies and compliance, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's exactly what you get to work with. You get to learn. All right. And in order for you to learn all this, it's a duration of 4 months, 3 months of learning, and 1 month of internship. 3 months live classes, project-based live classes, and 1 month of virtual internship. So if you're looking to become a cybersecurity analyst, trust me, there is a huge demand for cybersecurity analysts in the job market. So if you're looking to get started, this is a training program for you to get started. The AI engineering curriculum is going to be starting next month, March. Okay, and this is where you get to work with Google teachable machines, data robots, AWS SageMaker, ChatGPT and its plugins. You get to build your own custom plugins. You get to work with Bard and Bing. You get to work with prompt engineering. You get to get better at prompt engineering, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, why should you transition? Why should you train with analytics? Very simple. From our discussion so far, and I've told you earlier, okay, that we have helped over 850 people plus 850 plus people transition from classroom into their first job. So when I say from classroom, okay, it means they had no prior experience, zero prior experience. Okay. So we had people that were bakers, we had people that were entrepreneurs, people that were working as customers, care workers, moving from their prior experience into their first job. All right. So we are proud about this number of we achieving this last year, 2023. All right. Now we didn't take into consideration, this number doesn't take into consideration people that had prior experience. So people that worked as data analysts, people that worked as data scientists, that learned cybersecurity and transition, or learned data engineering and transition. No. All right. We didn't take those because a lot of people will feel that, oh, these guys have experience. That's the reason why they were able to transition. But now, when you hear people say, I've been a stay at home mom for the last 3 years, all right, and I've not worked, and I was able to learn data analytics, I was able to learn data science, I was able to learn data engineering, and I was able to get a job, you'll believe those people. And that's the reason why we're looking for more motivations. And that's the reason why we're very proud about this achievement from last year. So why should you train with us? Based on these 5 premises. First of them, up-to-date curriculum. So you see all the curriculums are up to date. The business analysis training program infuses AI and data analytics. All right. You see, the data analytics curriculum infuses AI, Microsoft Fabric that is not even in demand at this point in time. You are learning it, and you can Google Microsoft Fabrics, and you'll see that this is likely going to replace tools like Power BI and Power Apps and other data engineering softwares. Okay, it's likely going to take over all the aspects. So you get to learn what we have up to the curriculum. Industry expert, we have the best trainers in the industry at this point in time. People that have not just training experience, but also hands-on practical experience. People that are currently in the industry. So you get to work with these people. Also, we have the blended training delivery to accommodate everyone. So I'm a fast learner, I'm a slow learner. You are in the right place. You're in the right place. So if we're looking to get this started, so we have a blend of live class. So you have your live class where you would have an instructor in front of you working on the project side by side, a live, a real live instructor. Okay. Secondly, you have what we call watch me do it videos. WMD&I. Watch me do it videos. Now, these watch me do it videos are self-paced videos that you can watch at your own pace to get you the knowledge and experience that you're looking for. So the key question we're trying to answer with this particular methodology is how do we get people that are fast learners and slow learners in the same class and get them to learn together at the same pace? Very simple. So we build the live classes for everyone to work on a self-paced project, to work on the project with an industry expert in class. And we also have the flip side, we have watch me do it videos, which are self-paced videos to get you to practice and learn at your own pace. So with this, everybody is moving at the same place, at the same pace in class. Additional employability services, in which I'll talk about shortly. We have the best internship program running at this point in time. Okay, virtual internship designed to simulate real work environment. Okay, experience. Okay, so when you combine all these together, you get an industry ready tech professional. All right. So from up-to-date curriculum to working with industry experts, you get a blend of live classes and watch me do videos, self-paced videos. Then you have additional employability services, which I'll talk more about. And we have the internship program designed to give you that real life experience. Now, how do we position you for success? Very simple, 3 layers. All right. Level one, we have CV review. We have CV review. So we're going to help you revamp your CV, revamp review. So I have experience. I don't have experience. I have experience from another field and I'm looking to transition. All right. All those questions will be answered during the CV review session. I would help you revamp your CV to get you the first role. All right. So we'd also work with LinkedIn optimization. We'll help you revamp your LinkedIn profile, all right, to get you in the faces of recruiters. So LinkedIn optimization works like search engine optimization, where you can actually where a recruiter would search and result, the best result, which is your profile, will be provided to the recruiter, just like search engine. So when you go on Google and you search something on Google, you see this information, the best information for that search will be provided to you. That's the same thing with LinkedIn optimization. So if you apply for a role on, if you have a profile on LinkedIn that is optimized, when a recruiter searches for a particular role, your name should pop up. Now, Upwork optimization also part of the list for freelancers looking to work freelancing. Navigating the job market will teach you how to navigate the job market, identify where to get jobs. We did a brief today looking at contract roles, looking at different naming convention they call different roles. So you see the likes of business data analyst. All right. There are other roles a data analyst can take on. For example, change analyst. Okay, you will never apply for a change analyst role. But guess what? It's a business analyst role. The same thing with data analytics. You will never apply for business intelligence analyst, but that's a data role. Somebody talked about business analytics. That's also a data related role. All right. So how do you navigate the job market? How do you know the type of job to apply to? Where do you apply for these jobs? Another question. We'll answer all those questions in navigating the job market session. Job and interview preparation, we'll talk about that. And last but not the least, recommendation and reference letter will provide you with all that. The job and interview preparation is something that we owe. That's like one of the most important sessions that we have, and that's because that's what guarantees your success during the interview. You could have a good CV, you could have a good LinkedIn profile, you can know how to navigate the job market, but if you don't know how to sell yourself during the interview, you will never get a job. It's not a curse. Okay. So how do you position yourself for success? How do we now do this for you to ensure that you're ready? Is the job and interview preparation session. Okay. So this is where we have designed, we have experience. So we have experience across different roles and the whole interview process. So how do we prepare you for this interview? Very simple. We have mock sessions. So whenever you have an interview coming up, you schedule the sessions. We prep you. We provide you with possible questions that would like to ask you. We come up with scenarios, okay, that would likely ask you, and we put you on the spot during the mock interview process to see how you do well and give you feedback. And it's an iterative process to get you prepared for the interview. Level two, we have weekly mentorship sessions and on-the-job support. Okay, weekly mentorship sessions. This is where we bring in experts from the industry to come and speak to you to get to get you to understand more about the industry and get you more knowledgeable about how to navigate the job market, the challenges they face, and how you shouldn't face the same challenge essentially. Now, on the job support, you would also get that. So once you get the job, and you feel like you can't do the job, or you feel like the task that was awarded to you is slightly a bit more technical, we would assist you with on the job support. Last but not the least, what we have introduced this year is a job interview guarantee. All right, job interview guarantee. And I'll explain this further in the next couple of slides. All right. So number one, body mentorship sessions. So Body Mentorship Hub is an addition to what we are doing this year, 2024, where, like I mentioned earlier, we have a ton of people that got jobs, and these people are coming back to an old people to get their old jobs. So a lot of you that feel like you're not good, you're not this, you're not that. Some people have felt that same way last year, but took the bold step to start, and now they've gotten their jobs. Now these people are coming back to say that they want to unhold other people to get their own job. Okay, and that's the community that we are trying to build. Okay, so if you join the program, you will get somebody that went through the program last year or within our training program that have gone through our training program, have got to the job, coming back to an OG. So you get appointed to this set of people. Number two is internship experience, and we are enhancing our internship experience to get you that real life experience that you need to get started. Now, and this is the initiative I'm talking about that will guarantee you job interviews. So if you're in Canada, you're in the US, you're in the UK, you have friends, you have family that are in this region, I would really want you to send this to them to get them interested. So what we're doing this year is we have secured some partnerships with top recruitment firms across the UK, the US, and Canada. All right. The likes of A is recruitment, the likes of Robert Half, the likes of Avi Natch, Michael Page, Adeco, Manpower, Conferry, Kelly Services, Tech Systems, and so on. All right. So what we're doing is we are building our own job pipeline, okay, for the guys in these regions. Okay. All right. So if you're in the UK, all right, you're in Canada, or you're in the US, you need to take opportunity. You need to take this opportunity. So we are training people, we're training people, and these recruiters obviously have the jobs. All right. So we train and we recommend you for these jobs. You get the interviews. All right. We prepare you for the interviews. All right. And then you get your job. Okay. We prepare you for the interviews. But obviously, several interviews, we prepare you for as much interview as you need in order for you to secure that job. Okay. So that job pipeline is what we are adding to our arsenal this year to ensure that you get the job. So either in the UK, Canada, or US, you need to take opportunity. You need to take this opportunity, or tell your friends, to tell your friends, to tell your friends, to tell your other friends, to tell your family members, to tell your cousin, to tell your enemies that these are the things that we're implementing this year. Okay, so the essence for us, like I mentioned at the start of the session, how the key question that we're always trying to answer is how do we get more Africans into the tech space? All right. So, like I mentioned, we have enough proof. We have a lot of proof. You see, Ikmat is here. We see Benga. You see Ramat. So you see, Ikmat was a stay-at-home mom, went through the data analytics training program, got a job as a data analyst with full sponsorship. Okay, with the NHS. All right. Benga also landed the role of a business data analyst in Poland. Ramat got a job as a business analyst, in the UK, full sponsorship also. So now, and that's just a few. I'm still going to show you so many other testimonials that we have. Join our next cohort on the 3rd of February 2024. That's literally like about a week time. All right, about 2 weeks from now. All right. So, which of this training program would you be looking to getting started? We have an early bird discount for the first 20 people to register. All right. Today we talked about Uping tech role. When you look at the salary you can get in a week, when you can look at the salary you can get in a week, you would see that this amount, the amount for the training program is actually highly discounted. The key thing for us is not the money, is for you to get into the tech space. How can you get into the tech space? That's the key question that we are trying to answer, and we've provided you with such a robust service in order for you to get started. So the full amount for this training program, okay, is $750. So if you're looking to get into data analytics, business analysis, HR analytics, financial analytics, or data science, if you're looking to get into any of these 5 career paths, the full amount is $750. Rather than you paying $750, you can be part of the first 20 people to register and get the discount. So rather than paying $750, you can actually pay $600. And the good thing again, additional good thing, okay, is rather than you paying this $600 in full, you can pay it in 2 installments. Okay, you can pay it in 2 installments of $450 and $150. Now, this second installment, interesting again, can be paid 1 month into the training program. Balance of the second payment after 1 month into the training program. So you don't need to pay the whole amount of $600 at a go. You can actually break it into 2 installments. That's another benefit from you being the first part of the first 20 people to register. So rather than you paying $750 at a whole, you can actually pay the discounted amount and you can pay it in 2 installments. You can pay it in 2 installments. $450 to secure a position. Then 1 month into the training program, you can balance the remaining 150. And it's very possible you might have gotten a job by then. All right. If you're in the UK, it is £625 in full. All right. Now the discounted amount is £500, and you could pay in 2 installments, £375 and £125. Okay, and don't forget this comes 1 month into the training program. Okay, Now, if you're looking at career paths in data engineering and cybersecurity, all right, it is $900 for the full amount or £750. Now, the discounted amount is 750 or £625. Okay, $750 or £625. And you can pay in two installments also, rather than paying in full. You can pay 550 or £460 to secure your position, and then pay the balance payment of $200 or £165, for the second payment. And guess what? That is also what 1 month into the training program. Now for the Scrum Master, okay, right, the full amount is $450, okay, or £375, but the discount is $350 or £295. And you can also pay in two installments of $250 or a balance of $100 1 month into the training program. Same thing with pounds, £200 to secure a position, and £95 to complete payment 1 month into the training program. That's exactly what you need to know in order for you to get started. So this discount is only available for the first 20 people. For the first 20 people. First 20 people. First 20 people. That's one thing you need to understand. So if you want to be part of the first 20 people, this is what you need to get started. So you can pay the full amount instead of paying the full amount, okay? You can pay the discounted amount. So you see all the discounted amounts you see here, you can be part of the first 20 people to pay the discounted amount. And the good thing about the discounted amount is you can get to pay in two installments. All right? Right? So all you need to do now is secure your position with the first payment. All you need to do now is to secure your position with the first payment, and thereafter pay the second payment 1 month into the training program. And that's all you need for now. All right. So any questions? Let me see. Let me see if there's any question in the chat. Okay. Any question, please? Let me see. All right. So that's basically what we have to offer. And we have a ton of testimonials, a ton. When I say a ton of testimonials, all right, ton of testimonials, all right, coming from everywhere, every nook and cranny. Okay. So you see, let me play this, Lemuel's video. So you see exactly. Let me see if I'm sharing my audio. Give me a second. Let me stop sharing and I'm going to share soon. Give me a second. Not sure why it's not working. Elijah, please confirm if you can hear me well, or anybody on the team.
I can hear you very well, sir.
Okay, okay. All right. Thank you very much. Um, you can still hear me? Just give me a second. I'm not sure why my Zoom has crashed on me.
Yes, I can still hear you.
All right. So apparently, let me see if I can just. All right. All right. Can you see hear me? Just give me a second.
Yes.
Okay. So please, could you make me the host again so I could just continue? And I think we're almost done. We just have a few seconds to go. Okay. Ebele, please, could you make me the host? All right. Okay. All right. So I just wanted you to listen to
Hi,
Abiola.
my name is Lima Oyola Odior and I'm a business analyst. I registered with Analytics a couple of months ago and it was one of the best decisions of my life. I registered at the point where I needed to upskill as a business analyst, especially in the areas of technical business analysis, and it was great. I made the right choice, trust me. So I just finished a particular program at the time and I wasn't so impressed. So I went on Google and I started searching for schools and Analytics popped up. When I saw all I was going to learn, I was so impressed I had to get one of my friends to join in. And we both registered for that cohort. Trust me, it was really, really good. From the very first week, we could do so much that we never thought we'd be able to do. The tutors, they are all hands down. Everybody wants to make sure that you learn. For analytics, I realized that it's beyond the money. It's all about passing the knowledge, the actual knowledge of business analysis that people need to learn. So you're not just carrying the name about, you actually know how to do a really, really good business analysis. And I want to encourage you today, if you're still having doubts in your mind, please let it end right here. Trust me, paying for this course, taking the business analysis course is really, really what you should be doing right now. Invest in yourself. I want to encourage you today. I really made the right choice investing in myself. I was very, very close to not taking the course, but I want to say a big thank you to Analytics for investing your time, your resources, and everything into putting these courses together. Ensure that more competent business analysts are put out there in the world. Thank you so much for everything, and I recommend Analytics 100%.
All right. So you see all these opportunities are there, and you see a lot of testimonials, a lot of testimonials of people getting jobs, people not believing they could do something, and now they work in that capacity. So you see, there are quite a number of
One of the
roles.
greatest things that happened to me in 2023 was being a part of Tenalytics. My name is Grace Diaolu, and I am one of the financial analytic students of the September cohort of Tenalytics. The last 4 months has been mind-blowing, drilling, tasking, and stretching. Here, I was able to learn advanced Excel skills, Power BI.
See, I think it will be best for you to go to the YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is just literally 10 analytics, and I would also nudge you to subscribe. Okay. So you see quite a number. You could just go there, you go to videos or playlists, better. So you go to playlist and you see a ton of testimonials. You see the video here, testimonials. All right. You see a ton of testimonials in there. Also, you see, I think you also need to listen to this. How analytics helped me land a job in tech. All right, this was just posted. This was a session we had a few days ago. All right, how analytics helped me
Confirm you
land a
can hear
job
me
in
clearly.
tech. All right, this is the head of trading, Oluwadamilola Jimobi.
Okay.
All right, and you see the
Start.
guys on the
Thank
team.
you. Let's keep it going.
You see, these are the
I
guys. You see all the guys here are all just part of the people, some of the people that got jobs last year. So you see John, you see Ramat, you see Abiola, you see Zainab, and you see, Gaga. Okay?
am
You see, these
currently a business analyst with the government of Alberta, Canada. All thanks to Analytics. I was so dumb before now. Trust me, guys, I was so dumb. Well, we're going to talk about it much later, I guess. I don't think it's time for me to start talking too
No.
much now, right?
You see people not believing that they could do something and then getting to do this. She's currently working in the same Canada. People think that you need Canadian experience and oh, you need certification. Oh, Canada is a certification country. Canada is a experienced country. Canada will require you to do this. All this garbage of myriads of garbage around, several limitations that you have in order for you to get started. But guess what? People are conquering this barrier that you think that exist and they're getting jobs and working. All right. Like I said, Gaga currently, like I mentioned earlier, currently leads a team. Someone that just learns business analysis is leading a team within the same government of Canada that people don't think they can ever work in the first place. So if you think you're still doubting yourself, please just come to the YouTube channel. You'll see how I helped, how the analytics helped me land my tech role. And you could also see the testimonials I talked about earlier. All right. So you see all these things are, they are there for you. Literally, we have enough testimonials, testimonials upon testimonials upon testimonials upon testimonials to show you that Africans are also getting this job. It's not a white man job, all right? Or it's not an European, or it's not, don't say that you can't do it. All you need to do is, secure your position now with a discounted amount. So if you're looking to get this started, this is the right time for you to get started. Okay. So let me see if there are any questions, and I'll see if I'll be able to take some questions. All right, yes. So Elijah is dropping it in the chat. What if the current school for what if you are currently in school for a 2-year program that will end in 2025? I think you need to start now. To be honest, a lot of people think they need to is when they finish that they need to start. I would say you should start now, okay? And you could actually secure a position before you even graduate. Very, very possible for you to secure your position before you graduate. And I'm pretty sure if you're in school right now, you can work full time in Canada, but it doesn't limit you from working fully remote for an organization in the US. Okay, so these are kind of opportunity that you can actually latch into. All right, so you can work full time for a company in the US, or better still, you can wait to the end of the program. You can learn, secure a position that once you're done with your masters, that job is waiting for you. All right. So it's not when you finish the program, you start to upskill. You also do it side by side with your training program, with your schoolwork, and you can actually get it done. Okay. Definitely you need a laptop for the program. Okay. Someone's asking about laptop. So I think that has been answered. Okay, so please, if you want to take advantage of the discount, please get started right now. Get started right now. Okay, all right. So thank you guys. Thank you very much. So the discounted amount, once you want to make payment, click on the main stack link. So you see mainstack.me.enroll analytics. So you see it here, main stack, click here. It will take you to the payment platform. All right, it will take you to the payment platform. And from the payment platform, you'll see all the brochures. That's the first thing you see. Access to all the brochures, the program brochures. So if you want to go into business analysis, the brochure will give you a detailed overview of the brochure, okay, of the program, end to end, all the things you would learn in detail. So we talk about Agile, you're learning Agile. So what would you be learning in Agile? You'll learn it A to Z, all the details of all the things you'll learn, and more information is provided in the brochure. Okay, so moving on from there, all right, you said the cost also implications are there. Once you've made payment, this is the registration form. Take a screenshot of your payment and upload your receipts. This is where you upload your receipts. Okay, direct transfers. Okay, if you want to pay in pounds, you can pay directly to the pound account. Non-Naira card payments. So if you want to pay in dollars, Canadian dollars, you want to pay in, Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, whatever amount you want to pay, you can always come here to make that payment. All right. So main stack. So for the guys looking to get into data analytics, business analysis, full stack data science, and so on, you come here to make your first payment. Make your first payment here. For the guys in Scrum, looking to get started in Scrum, you click here to make your first payment. Okay. So once we eat 20 people, guys, once the system records 20 transaction, once everybody gets that registration, 20 registration, all right, the discount is going to be off. Okay. There will no longer be discounts for anybody. And everybody else would have to pay the full amount to get secured for the training program. Okay. All right. So, anyways, this is where we're going to try the curtain for tonight. If you're looking to get this started, please register now by paying the first amount for you to get started. Okay. So, and if you have any questions, you could just go to the bottom. Okay. You could go to the bottom and, sorry, I'm just going to share my screen again. one last time. Okay. So if you have any questions or you have any complaints or anything you're trying to figure out, please, this is our email address. You could send an email to enquiry@10analytics.io, or better still, you can send a WhatsApp message to the numbers that you see on the screen. So if you have any questions, any concern, you want to speak with Ifemena, you want to get confirmation, clarity, all right, please don't hesitate to either send us an email or send us a WhatsApp number, WhatsApp message. All right. So thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful day. Some of you are in the morning already, but either in the evening or in the night, regardless of your time, have a wonderful day. Enjoy your day. It's been great having you guys on the call, having you guys here today, and really happy that you stayed to the end of the session. So, anyways, thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful evening and take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.